I am back. I just went through some of my color charts here, my conversion charts, and figured out what colors I was going to use for my Marco Raffines that would also translate into other colors for y'all. I'm using this book by Dr. T. The paper's not the greatest, but she knows that. So she has a disclaimer in the front that as long as it's for your own personal use, she doesn't mind you making copies. So I am going to go to this page. Let me slide this in here. I always like to put something between my pages. That's just to clear overhead transparency. These are the colors I'm going to be using. All right. Let's just jump in here and get started. When you're doing a color grayscale, you can start either light to dark or dark to light. I'm going to go dark to light. So I'm going to pick this one right here to start with. So my darkest color is going to come down in here. And then I'm going to get softer as I come out. Okay, I put a good line in there. And then softer, like you would touch a baby's face. Alright, so just imagine how rough would you touch a baby's face. Not that rough, okay? So we're doing soft touch. And I can do several coats. And see, I'm not holding my pencil way down here. I'm going to get a hard touch. I've got to hold it further back, but still close enough that I have some control over it. All right, and that's something that just takes playing with. I am very heavy-handed, so that is something I have really had to work on, is learning that soft touch. Okay? And a lot of times you'll see me color in circles, but if there's a lot of lines, you're going to see me, that was 528, you're going to see me do more in lines instead of circles. This is 527. Again, these are the Marco Renoirs. No, I just lied. These are the Marco Raffines. Okay? So, and I'm going in the direction. See, I'm changing the direction as I go. It's because that petal comes up and then flips down. So I'm coming up, and I'm going the direction that that petal would be going. All right. And here I'm going to go back to my circles because it really just kind of fades out. And we're going to go to a different color here in a second. And I really want to be able to blend into the next color. And I'm not going to do this whole page, but for you that are coloring along, you would do everything else in here the same way. All right? So then I'm going to come down through here. Get lighter as I go. Go back over the dark so that it blends in. That way the colors are blending together. Alright, then I'm going to go to the next one. Now this one's going to be a shocker because it's 524. So it does change color quite drastically. But if we're going over the color that we previously did, like I was just saying to do, then it blends in and it really looks okay together, because I want some vibrant pinkish purpley roses here, or rose. Okay, so going back over what I previously did and then coming out, getting lighter, 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 and I'm getting a little too dark, so I'm going to move up some on my pencil. Getting lighter, lighter. Going over what I did before. And then getting lighter as I come out. And that's how it's going to be able to be blending with that next color. See, this is all a little bit darker. That's why I didn't worry about getting as light on this part. Okay, going over what I did before. I can go a little darker there because the color before was darker, and that does help it blend. Now these are Marco Raffines. They're not overly wax or oil or anything like that. They're just a colored pencil. Okay, 513. Now we're going to do our lighter color here. I'm not going to use my 516 just yet. Okay, because in this petal, it goes back to dark again. See how I'm going over the color before? Now this actually comes this way a little bit. There's a few lines there. See, going back over the color before, and you can see now how it all blends because of that going over it. Now you can tell I did not make a color copy, and I'm still able to blend and do all of this rather well. So the paper's not so bad that if you don't have a copier you would be totally lost. You could still do this, or a printer I mean. You could still do this without printing out your own. Okay, so there's that. Now right here it is just a little bit lighter still, so I am going to come to that lightest shade, that 516, and put in just one row of my lightest light before I go back. And then I'm going to repeat all the colors in reverse because it was dark, then light, then dark. So by going in reverse, I'll be able to blend all the way back into that deeper purple once again. And see, you can tell I'm going over everything I did before. And because I know I'm going darker next, I don't have to get real light on this part. And I'm going to do just a touch here, but not much at all. And you would carry this all the way around, this whole petal. I'm just doing a piece of it. You would carry that all the way around. Okay, now to the next pink. I'm going backwards now. So I'm back on the 513. And the reason I had to look at my color swatches to pick my colors right here is the barrels on these do not match the actual lead color. Okay, so be careful when you're picking. They don't actually match. And a lot of people just scribble on a piece of paper, but I'd rather not waste my pencils doing that. So I just made these color swatches. Plus, okay, I'm going to 524. If I should happen to, once again, need to know what color I used somewhere, I can go back and put the color swatch down next to my paper and figure out what I used. Yeah, I actually did a video where I said I used a certain color and I was off. Yeah, I was wrong. So I was able to lay that down and come back in and figure out what color I really did use. So they've already been helpful to me in that aspect. Now as you're coming back, because you're going backwards, on the back side here I can be darker, but then here on the front side I want to make sure I'm blending. Okay. If you see me pause every now and then, it's because I had started a different flower on here just a while ago, and for some reason my camera froze, so I had to pick a different page and start again. So it asked me if I wanted to put it on my external SD card, and I said yes. So maybe that was the change it needed to be able to work better this time. Alright, so can you see how that's looking like it's kind of rolled around? It's lighter on top where the light's hitting it, and then it gets darker again. So now the next darker color is that 527. Like I said, this is not going to be a long tutorial. This is a short one on blending and getting you started with this Grayscale book. But then I'm going to leave you to it, because I really think that if you just do this on your petals, now see here it doesn't get dark, here it gets dark on the sides. So just watch where it gets dark, and that's when you go back with your darker colors. Okay? Like I said, I have no doubt that you can do this, but I really just want to get one petal done for you. And I did or did not do that one. I think I did. So I'm going to go ahead and put this color on now. And see how it gets light again? Yeah, so I'm only going to be able to go down so far with this. Overlapping a little bit. And then I'm going to come to my 528 and finish this petal off. See, I can do this line, come through here, and then blend at the edge, and that finishes this petal. Just come in and blend ever so lightly. And if your edges ever go together and you can't really see where it is, you're in control of your page. You make a new edge and color it, and by the time you're finished with it, it's going to be fine. It is totally going to be fine. So don't let that stress you if there's an edge or something on your pages that are not complete. No big deal. Not at all. All right, so there's one. It's one petal. Can you imagine this whole thing finished? Now, I am going to go back to my number 524 because this was 527. So now I'm going backwards. I'm going lighter again because there's another lighter area. Overlapping and into the lighter areas. Then I'm going to go to 513. A little bit lighter, coming around. Overlapping. Then I'm going to go to the lightest, 516, and finishing in this light area. Isn't that cool? It just kind of all goes together just right. So anyway, that's how you would do this. So this petal over here is going to have a whole lot more dark, and where you can't really see on camera, when I'm looking, I can see that there's a line here. Okay? Now these all blur together, but I can just say, okay, there's going to be a line here. So just make those up. It's not death and taxes. It's no big deal. This right here is going to come around. So all of this on this edge would be the dark. Okay? There's some dark in here and here. And so this little triangle area is going to be dark. This area is going to be dark. All of this is going to be dark, and then it's going to go to the next shade, and then I'm going to do all of this in the lighter pink, this in the lighter pink, and this. And by doing that, you get that little ripple that's actually in that petal. So anyway, all right, that's all I'm doing on this one. I really think that you can go in here and do this yourself. And again, this is the book it's from. Here's the back. She has a ton of books, y'all. She used to be a photographer, maybe still is. Anyway, they're her photos, and she just decided to go in and start doing all this. So I believe it's currently available on Amazon. She also has a Facebook group, and you can go on there and see what color all these photos originally were. But yeah, this book has just a whole ton of different photos. All right, so have fun with it, and I will see you all later.